The Mavs are 3 for 17 from 3.
That's a lot of threes.
The funny is, if they were 5 for 17, which still wouldn't be good, they'd be down 4 points.
Well, it looks like we're live at 120. This is the NBC podcast. This is probably actually hear too much of the game right now. But the NBA playoffs are upon us. And it's been I've enjoyed it. I don't watch much basketball during the regular season because I don't know, because I just don't. It's not that I don't like it. I just never do watch it.
Yeah, it's hard to get up for a game when there's 82 games. It's hard to get up for a specific one unless it's something special. Or you have money on it. And in which case, it's easy to watch anything.
I haven't gotten any notifications that you've been watching a lot or betting a lot on the sleeper app, the players.
I haven't been.
It's probably kind of hard to do it during the... Besides just being the playoffs, like the players are so different. Like unheard of players will just like come out of nowhere and be the game winner for that game. Draymond, 100 years old, still killing it though. So it looks like the biggest issue right now is actually the Stream Deck, this thing. The thing that makes it cool to run a stream. That's frustrating. How are your Steelers looking? Have you watched any of the OTAs?
Rookie training camp. Meh. Watched a little, but it's super rudimentary football. So the one that's good, I guess, Pickett looks like a leader. It's one that you can really assess at this stage. Because, I mean, like I said, the football's rudimentary, so you can't really tell how his arm's looking or decision making or any of that yet.
A lot of people are kind of high on him playing week 1.
He'll play week 1.
You think he's a Mitch? Poor Mitch.
Yeah. But I guess Mitch said that Pittsburgh told him there was one quarterback that if he was left, if they ended up drafting him, that they'd have a chance to start week 1 before they signed Mitch. But they said they only had one quarterback in mind, and so Mitch signed with them. And then after he signed, they said, all right, Pickett's our guy. They're like, we're probably not going to trade up to get him, but if he's there, he's going to have a chance to compete week 1. And they're being super nice to Rudolph by saying it's going to be Rudolph, Pickett, and Mitch having a competition to see who's week 1. Like, not going to be Rudolph.
Yeah. The Rudolph is just being polite.
I know that we talked about it in our fantasy league, and Gwen mistakenly thought that I meant that like Pickett's going to start by the end of the year no matter what. If Trubisky gets announced the week 1 starter, a lot of things. One, does not make me feel good about Kenny Pickett's chances. Not that I think Trubisky's bad, but it's just like when you take a rookie quarterback, you want the ceiling. You want him to be a superstar. If he can't beat out Mitch.
You think if he doesn't beat him by week 1, he doesn't beat him? Because he's the pro-ready QB?
He might beat him eventually, but the way Pittsburgh is, he's not taking the starting job from Mitch this season. Unless Mitch is just trash. Like, the only way that Mitch is going to get benched if he starts week 1 is he gets hurt, or he's turning the ball over a ton, or our offense, for some reason, is just completely inept. We just can't do anything. But it wouldn't be like 1 or 2 bad weeks. It'd have to be a prolonged problem. Pittsburgh's not going to be quick to make a snap decision. So I think it's a bad, because that's the way Pittsburgh is, I think that it'll be semi-factored into their decision on who starts week 1. Is they're not just who's best this week. I think they'll partially be like, all right, come week 3, come week 4, week 5. Do we think Pickett's going to be better than Trubisky by then? Because if so, you start Pickett week 1 and let him roll. So that's why it'd be concerning to me is I'd be like, oh, so we draft Pickett who's like 24, 25 years old already, and he's not going to play his entire first season?
That is rough.
Barring injury or Trubisky just sucking. Because obviously, if I was all on board with Trubisky when we got him, but if one of those two players, if I told you was a multiple Super Bowl MVP, it has to be Pickett. It has to be your pick is more likely. Just because Trubisky's been around for so long, you think that if he was that, you know what I mean? Like, it'd be quite the story if it was, but there's not a lot of guys who've been on several teams and then became like superstars. I mean, I can't think of a lot of guys who started for a team and then went somewhere else and became a superstar later. Like,
it's hard to think of players that.
I know, like Kurt Warner had a great story, but like, he just like didn't play and then played.
Yeah, he was nothing, right?
And once Tom got the job, he kept the job. You know, if you think about people like that, like some of the exciting players, it was like, yeah, maybe they didn't have the job right off, but once they got it, it was theirs. There's not a lot of quarterbacks that's like, oh, he bounced around the league for 4 or 5 years and then became a Pro Bowler. It's like, not
well, Rasul Douglas from the Packers, he was nobody.
It's a corner, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And like, it happens from time to time with the other positions. Like, James Harrison was cut a bajillion times between the Steelers and the Ravens, and obviously that worked out by the time he ended up making the team, but...
Yeah, by then he was a superstar. And then he was playing until he was almost 40.
Mm-hmm. But you just don't see it. With quarterbacks, it's hard because you just don't get a lot... I think the big part of it is you don't get a lot of chances. Like with Mitch, like, I thought he was going to get a chance here in Pittsburgh, and I'm thinking now he's not going to get a chance.
Right.
Like, he's going to get a chance basically to look awesome, but he almost needs Pickett to look bad also. Because they drafted Pickett first round pick. They want him to be good.
That
He's
also
on the rookie contract. They're rooting for him to be really good, obviously.
that also makes you wonder about like someone like Trey Lance. What's he going to be?
He's going to start this year.
Yep.
You think so, but
I think he's going to be given his chance to start.
I think he's going to start he's going to start this year, and then what's going to happen with Garoppolo?
I think he's going to be the most overpaid backup.
That's so awkward, and then that might create a problem if they're quick to yank Lance if he's struggling early. Sometimes that can create
A real mental break on him. Yeah, he could. It could break him.
I think that happened to... I honestly think that's what happened to Carson Wentz. He looked unbelievably good for like a season and a half. And then Nick Foles went on that playoff run, and then like there was times they benched him at one point for Foles. And I feel like it rattled him. And then he just isn't confident in himself anymore. Because now I think that he just like... I don't know. It's not helping the more places he goes either. And in Indy, I didn't think he was that bad last year. I know he threw the pick that iced their playoff chances or whatever against Jacksonville. But like, if you look at his stats as a whole, he wasn't terrible. I'll root for him to do well in Washington this year for sure. Maybe not be like a best or anything, something realistic, but I hope that he goes there and at least is like Ryan Fitzpatrick level. At least put up some fun stats. He has McLaurin, Gibson, McKissick, Dotson, so he has some people he could possibly get the ball to and put up some points. I find it interesting that a lot of people are down on A.J. Brown this year, since they're saying that the Eagles are run heavy, you know, because the Titans weren't with Derrick Henry.
Keep talking.
Like the Titans weren't run heavy with Henry. Like clearly they are. You know, the Eagles are run heavy, but Hurts should have a better deep ball than Tannehill.
It was picking up audio from both microphones, so you have to bring yours towards me and then turn it towards you. There,
Better?
so that'll work.
Yeah, I'm excited about the Steelers season this year. And part of it is because, kind of like with you, like how I said, you just want Fields to look good. I would feel like this season was a waste as a Steelers fan if we have Trubisky start the whole year, even if we make the playoffs. So we make the playoffs first round exit, right? Then next year they say, yeah, we're starting Pickett. I'd be like, okay, so I didn't get to watch Pickett develop at all. And now we're, he's making his first year as a starter. Next year, that's why, like, at least in losses and stuff now, I can look at it and be like, oh, Pickett looked good today. Pickett looked good. The wide receivers looked good. We're young. We're developing. It's nice to hang your hats and stuff like that in a loss. That was hard last year whenever we lost because it was like, okay, like Ben was terrible and
everything was bad.
Back. So like it doesn't.
What was the benefit of keeping him?
There was no. Like, I didn't feel good. It was like, oh, he's either is going to randomly just get better again, which I knew wasn't going to happen, or we're not going to go deep. 3 for 21 for Dallas now. Behind New York. They just keep firing them. But yeah.
I don't know. I hope that. My kid's been having nightmares.
Nightmares.
I was told kids are supposed to start dreaming after a while, but he keeps describing these vivid dreams he's having, so. Sad.
Yeah. Oh, here's a topic for you. So the Deshaun Watson thing. I kind of got into a little bit of an argument. My dad the other day talking about his suspension. Like my dad thinks they're gonna give him like at least a season, and I don't think they will because they've never done that before. I think they'll worry about the fact that about the race card being pulled since Ben only got 4 games. They don't give Watson too much. I was all on board with that until yesterday. They had the court hearing.
Right.
For the civil suit, and Watson admitted to the girl crying, and et cetera, et cetera. So now I wonder, will they give him like 4 games and say that's just for the first masseuse? And we hold the right to basically suspend you for any of the masseuses, for every suit that comes out going forward? And they're going to treat it case by case? Because that would protect him from the race card. Because Ben had the one case that they submitted he didn't go to court. Even civil court didn't happen, but there was the allegations or whatever. But still, it would clean up as you'd be like, yeah, you get a 4-game. What if they give him a 4-game suspension per girl?
88 games.
What if they did?
And then the next question becomes, if they do suspend it for like a season, or 2 seasons, or whatever, are the Browns still on the cap for that for the next 5 years?
Yeah, because it's guaranteed, right?
It's guaranteed, but
Well,
will it
can
count
the
as
cap
cap
or the NFL bail him out?
Can you really be bailed out?
In baseball, you get bailed out. If your player's suspended, they don't count as the cap. So I wonder if they'll be like,
There's a contract, they have to pay him money. I wonder if they'll say since he's suspended, like this season, you have that cap space. But man, that's going to open a whole can of worms. If he's suspended, does Baker stay and play, or will he stay proud of it? I'm not playing for you guys. You don't want me, I'm not playing. I think he ultimately would play. I would like for him not to, but
You want him to be that strong to say he's not going to do it?
yeah. I mean, for some selfish reasons, the Browns will be a lot worse if they have to roll Brissett all season. Pittsburgh's winning 2 games if Brissett rolls out there all year. Our defense is going to be too good this year for Brissett to beat us. And I'm not super scared of Baker. I don't think he's very good, but I see him just basically stand his ground and be like, "No, I said I wasn't gonna play for you," because he already said he wasn't gonna play for them again. So like, stick your ground then. They can't you.
You think he's gonna be that?
No, I don't think he will. I want him to be, because he already said he wasn't gonna play. So like, stick to your guns. Man, what do the Browns like? If they submit him for a season, what do the Browns do if they win it all?
We got muted there.
We have a golf major tomorrow. Exciting stuff. Tiger will be playing.
I hear there's a lot of bets on whether or not he makes the cut or not.
I think. He's supposed to play hard. If I don't think he has a great chance of winning.
Just he don't think he's in the shape for it yet. But if I had to pick a situation for Tiger to win, best case scenario is that it's just like ridiculously hard. Because there's gonna be some weather. He needs to be like incredibly windy, like winning scores like 4 or 5 over par for the tournament. I think that if it's something like that, Tiger could win because I think he's better at damage control than a lot of the younger guys. But if it gets to be where you have to start hitting birdies and stuff, he's gonna be in a lot of trouble.
I heard he hurt his foot too.
I don't know. I don't follow him that much, but as far as injuries like that, I don't see him enough. I haven't seen him since the Masters.
I just see there's like so much on Instagram. If you're a golf fan, he blows up on Instagram.
Oh yeah, he's the face of golf still. Speaking of the Dallas 3-pointers, can you believe they're 4 for 22 for 3, and they're down 5 points?
That's an impressive.
I mean, that's scary for Golden State.
What was the?
Like, it's gotta be scary that you're halfway through the second quarter. The Dallas is 4 for 22 for 3. Luka has like 4 points, I think. And if they make this free throw, they're down 4. Okay, they didn't make it. They're down 5 though, halfway through the second quarter. Shooting 4 for 22 for 3, and Luka has like 4 points. That's not good, because if they start hitting these shots, this game's not that close.
And then you have someone like Clay, who's supposed to be Mr. Elite, and he dribbles the ball off his own knee.
Yeah. Like, what happens if Luka starts?
I can't believe how many open threes
there's no
there have been taken.
It's just a 2-point game now. It's anyone's game. Just like that.
11-1 run, yeah. What's going on with Luka now? Built an excuse there?
I mean, he just made a great pass. I don't know what's going on with his shoulder. Hopefully nothing. I don't want to watch. Man, this series becomes entirely uninteresting if Luka misses games.
That's so true.
Like, he's the whole team. It's Golden State versus Luka, basically. Draymond's made his presence felt. A big and one there, big block earlier.
All right, you can say that so it's comfortable for you now. I fixed it.
I'm good. This is fine.
Just make sure you're talking at the mic.
There's 2 mics. talking at two mics, the microphone and the.
We're the same distance though. We're the same direction.
I'll say you and the mic.
The mic on the mic. Did
Ooh.
you hear that?
Yeah, it sounded really awesome.
Did,
Very satisfying.
did Steph make that other free throw?
Yeah, he's
2 for 6?
5.
2 for 5.
40% free throw shooter. Him and Shaq, you know.
Is that more or less surprising than when Giannis was like 13 of 14?
More.
Steph
shooting 40% almost should be impossible.
Come on. Clay's just
Because
looking
Giannis is like what, a 70% shooter from the line.
Yes.
So he's gonna have times where he hits 13 out of 14. It's just gonna happen. Steph should never shoot 2 of 5. He's a 91% shooter. There's not room to miss 3 out of 5 shots from the line, really. He probably shoots 2 of 5, maybe once a season.
I joined a new.
They just call it a 3-second rule.
Yeah, that got called on Brooke Lopez.
That rarely happens. You joined what?
Another.
Fantasy group.
Yep. This one is a $50 one. But I realize I know very little about using the Sleeper app for other stuff, because like today we got invited to join that message group with Adam to do a 3-way trade.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find it. So luckily I had to click the notification and it took me there. Otherwise, Shit's Creek. No fucking idea.
Steph just missed a wide open 3. Are these rims regulation? As bad as Dallas is shooting from 3, the fact that Steph's missing open 3, Steph's shooting back from the line. Are we shooting with carnival rims? What's going on here? Luka's shoulder is not right.
Something's going on with it.
Because he just grabbed it again. What happened to his face? He's got a big scratch across his face.
Oh, that's a good scratch.
That'd be a gnarly looking scar.
A perfect villain.
Yeah, that'd be the Slovenian nightmare, so they could call him at that point. He's not making the excuse. That looks pain. He looks like it hurts. That's a hurt grab.
During a dead ball time, it does, yes. I don't see him complaining when it's not game time.
Right there.
When the game's on, I don't see him grimacing.
Can you see his face from
Yeah,
here?
when the dead ball.
Well, he was holding it on the bench when he probably did not know the camera was on him.
The camera's always on him.
That's true, but he'd have to be a pretty active. And why is he whining? They're down 3 in game 1. It's not like
Built-in excuse. He anticipates Golden State to catch fire.
Next level excuse.
Listen, the
Just in
Kardashians.
case it's 3-0.
The Kardashians are billionaires because they could foresee trends.
Okay, did you see the Ray J thing that he came out and said?
No, only a bunch of famous people that didn't know that Ray J and Brandy were related. I saw that.
No, but Ray J came out and said that he didn't want the video to be released, and that he had a no what's it called?
Non-disclosure.
Yeah, non-disclosure he had signed, so he could talk about it. Now he's like, screw it. I didn't want this. They painted me to be the villain in this situation, and none of this was me. And
That's a good block.
it's wild, though.
I did hear that
Sounds like it was.
released by Kim K and her family.
Yeah.
But you gotta think,
Well, it's always been known that
That's
Kris
genius.
Jenner's the one who sold it.
that's genius.
Well, they said that they.
Can you
Paris
imagine-
went well. Paris and Kim were best friends.
And
Kim was on the hills and all that stuff. She wanted to be famous.
Kim wasn't on the hills. I watched the hills.
I mean, not on the hills, but she hung out with that group.
Probably.
And there's always pictures of her sitting in that pictures
She knew-
following Paris around
She was with Paris, and I think she
She wanted
made
to be
friends
famous.
with. Oh, what's her name? Audrina from the Hills. I think they became friends.
I don't know, but that song the Gold Digger song or whatever.
Throw it.
I don't think that Kim was a gold digger, but I do think she was a fame digger.
As they are known to be.
Yeah.
Let's see how this audio sounds. Say something.
Say something. I'm giving up on you. Ooh, a third foul for Draymond. So, I don't know. See, it's an 8-point game again. That's the problem is Golden State is just better. Like,
Golden State's just better? Yes.
they're just better. That's all there is to it. So,
Well, that's the reason that, like, Dallas wasn't supposed to be here. Although this is, what, a 3-4 matchup, isn't it? So neither one of these teams are supposed to be here.
yeah, Golden State got hot late, though. Steph missed a big chunk of the season. Draymond missed almost all the year. Clay was rehabbing for the year. So, they would have been the 1 or 2 seed had there been a full season.
How do you feel? That's a foul. How do you feel about Pat Bev talking shit about Chris Paul on Get Up?
I find it hilarious.
I do like when
Cone Paul.
what do you consider Pat Bev? He's not a star. Has he really ever been a star? He's always just been a good defender, but
No, 3-and-D guy.
somehow he was always present in media and stuff, considering he's like an 8 points a game scorer.
Defense.
Good shit talker.
Defense. He's just really, 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 really good defensively.
He is really good at defense. Man. When they start, like, it's just comes in bunches. You can't. It's hard. Wiggins, that was the signing there. That they traded what's his name, the lefty for him, didn't they?
I don't know who the lefty is.
Who's the young guy that Golden State had that they traded?
D'Angelo Russell.
That's it. He's a lefty too, isn't he?
Yep, he is.
He was involved in the trade for Wiggins, wasn't
I
he?
barely remember that he was on the Warriors.
It wasn't long.
And it was when they weren't good.
They didn't have it. None of the big three was even playing.
Right, so like it's forgotten time.
Are you going to see this?
Probably.
Top Gun Maverick. I haven't been to the movies in over 2 years. I think almost close to 3. Around the time that Sing came out. That was when I was last at the movie theater. I'm going to fucking see this in theaters. And they better play Danger Zone. I would pay extra to watch the first Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick at like the same. Like,
Back.
sorry, Nicole. Babe's not here. I'm going to see Top Gun.
They'll do that. Somewhere.
Somewhere has to, right?
Yeah.
Highway to
Just do it with the Jurassic Parks. I'm gonna sit and watch all 6 of them in a row. The original 3.
If I liked him enough, I would do that.
It'd be so draining. They'd have to have breaks between them at least, like a 15-minute breaker, 30-minute
like
breaker
like
between
going to a
each
play.
movie. Yeah, maybe between every 2, you have a 30-minute break.
Is 3 The Lost World?
Yeah.
Jurassic
Jurassic Park 1, Jurassic Park
2.
2, I think, and then Jurassic Park: The Lost World, and then Jurassic World, something else. I don't know what the second one is called. And then Dominion's going to be the third one.
That's what Dominion?
Yeah, I can't remember what Jurassic World 2 was.
I mean, Jurassic Park. So it was Jurassic Park, Jurassic World 2?
Jurassic Park 2,
Mm-hmm.
Jurassic Lost World, Jurassic Park Lost World or whatever. Then
Jurassic Park 3,
World,
yep.
Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, then Jurassic World Dominion.
Dominion. Why? Dominion does not sound like something
Oh, that sounds awesome.
prehistoric.
It's not prehistoric. All of them.
They're dinosaurs.
They're all released into now. That's gonna be a mess. You see the Everything Everywhere All at Once reviews? 96% Rotten Tomatoes, 8.7 on IMDb. It's crushing it. I know very little about it, but I know that I will watch it. I guess it's a mother-daughter film.
Is this of what?
It's like a mother-daughter film.
Of Jurassic Park?
No, I switched on you. The Everything Everywhere All at Once movie that came out in theaters.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Yep. And I know really none of the cast, The fourth highest paid person is Jamie Lynn Curtis. I know who she is.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yep, that's what I said. What I meant to say. But Michelle Yeoh, K. Hui Kwan,
Let me see.
Stephanie, what something or other. I don't know those people. But yeah, so I'm in though. Anytime the fans and the critics both like something,
Harry Shum Jr. He is in one of my favorite rom-coms of all time called All My Life. Is on HBO Max.
I thought you were gonna say that new Christmas movie.
No,
in that.
I cried my eyes out.
No, what's that new Christmas movie?
There's new ones every year.
Yeah, the one that came out with the remix of the "I Really Can't Stay" song. Baby, it's cold outside. Where they meet on the Tinder thing.
Ah,
He's in that.
he was the
the
successful
older
brother.
brother.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Ki Wei Kwan is from Indiana Jones.
Okay. The old guy in the middle is from Balls of Fury. I've seen him in Balls of Fury.
The other girl I don't
Which tells
know.
me he's been in a lot of probably movies like that.
Oh, James Hong. He was on Big Bang Theory too a bunch of times. He's a waiter at a Chinese restaurant.
You know he's got to be in a lot of those things.
He has
Turning
been.
Red, Mulan, Balls of Fury, Kung Fu Panda. He's made a career apparently of being a token Asian person.
Yes,
Gold
that's exactly
child.
it. He's been the perfect token Asian, but hilarious. He's a scene stealer kind of guy.
No, he is. He's always hilarious. Yeah, all of his things are basically like, hey, he's an old Asian man.
Did it? That's 8. Never mind. I was gonna say, are they up 18? No, never mind. It's 8. Bad at math.
This is the thing is if they're down 8 at half, the way they've shot the 3-pointer, being the underdogs already, they'd take that, I think.
Yeah.
Nope.
Maybe
See, that's
something
the
is
problem.
bothering him because he's not getting any. Like he's coming up short on a layup. That's good.
That's the problem.
He's not, he doesn't miss that shot. It's so weird.
Golden State just gets out running so fast. It's the issue. Like, off a miss like that, Luka missed, and then they had a 3-on-1, and it's just points. That's the thing about Golden State. The way you gain on them is by making your shots. And I know that sounds obvious and stupid, but what I mean by that is, like, when you're missing shots, they're just running down the court the opposite way so fast.
You also,
that
you can't
stringing
miss.
together makes actually helps your defense.
You can't miss bad either.
No,
You can't
so-
have long bounces.
But if you make a couple shots in a row, it actually you actually usually gain on them because they shoot worse when they're in the set offense. That's how the Cavs beat them that year. They came back from 3-1. They played super slow,
Damn.
and they just shot
Steph was-
highly efficient shots. Had made a bunch of them, like LeBron made, and Kyrie got a lot of layups. And when you do that, you force Golden State to have to score on you when you're already set, which is a lot different than Steph got a wide open 3. That's never going to be good. Gosh, that's so bad. 3 for 10, 0 for 4 for 3.
Steph's 1 for 5 now from 3. Or 1 for 6. It said.
I said Dallas would take 8. I don't know if they want to be down more than 10. It's bad when you call for traveling in the NBA.
Because he's not a named superstar.
And he probably did something pretty bad. Usually when you get called for traveling, he did something like took 2 or 3 steps before he made his first dribble or something like, you know what I mean? Like, because they let you.
Giannis took 7 steps on the way to a layup.
That's true, but he had already dribbled. They give you so much props when you've already started dribbling.
They give you,
only time
yeah.
they call travel is when you take steps before you start dribbling, or if you change pivot foots, they'll get you on that.
They'll give you a +1.5 for a
Like, if you're in the
European step.
post and like you switch pivot foots, they'll call that. But other than that, like, if you end it in a dunk or a layup, what travel?
So you talked about it before we started here, and we had all these audio issues and everything. Top 5 of the teams left. Who are you taking? Scoozy. So there's Golden State, Dallas Mavericks, for those who don't know, is Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat. It's tough. I feel like the majority of the top 5 are going to be on these 2 games.
I feel pretty confident. There are only 2 games.
These 2 teams right here.
I have 2 from this game in my top 5.
Oh.
For me, 5th would be Jaylen Brown.
The Celtics guard?
Yeah,
Okay.
he'd be 5th. 4th would be Tatum.
He's only a 4. Okay.
Then
Okay.
I have Jimmy 3rd. I'm talking this year for this playoffs. Like, Jimmy's just gritty. I don't think that like.
Oh, I love his heart.
I don't think he's as good as Tatum. But like, I had to build a team right now to be in the playoffs, I would take Jimmy over Tatum.
Jimmy does have a very built different type to him.
He brings the best out of his teammates. I feel like his teammates are going to be physical.
I feel like Jimmy's
Point
always
blank.
the guy that they thought James Harden was.
And then 2 Steph, and then Luka 1. And it's only just because like Steph, like
His defensive
he's
liability.
just defensively not good. So, and he obviously doesn't bring anything in the like way of rebounds and stuff like that. So he's the best offensive player. So if you wanted him to be one, I'd get it. But I just like that like Luka's the type of guy I think that no matter who your other 4 players are, no matter who they are, he's going to fit perfectly. Steph, I feel like needs like a kind of a specific team. Like if you put Steph on the Heat,
I think
don't
that's
think
wrong.
it'd be a great
I think they're great. He adapts to the fit needed. Same reason he stepped aside to create room for Durant.
yeah, but he's
He
always
works so well with everybody.
no, he's a great shooter, but like he's always had
His
wouldn't do well with a traditional big.
he
would
started
hurt
off
his-
with
it
like
would
David Lee early on in his career, and they played great.
It would be an issue with spacing. I mean, he did well with David Lee for a little bit. But he wasn't playing. David Lee was starting, but wasn't playing like huge minutes.
He was also kind of old at the time.
The problem is you have to be able to.
He can't keep up.
You have to mask him defensively.
Yes.
So you have to have the right people around him to hide Steph, or it becomes a problem.
I feel like the defense Steve Kerr's created with their weird little box 1 shit works pretty well
Like
for
their
it.
best team when they had Clay. Well, their best team was when they had Clay, Draymond, Harrison Barnes.
God, Harrison Barnes, he covered it up. But Harrison Barnes was 20 years old, 6'10", and ran like he's 6'2". So
No, but he was a great defender. Clay was a great defender. I mean, Clay and Draymond were 2 of the best defenders in the league, and then, Barnes was good, and they had Iguodala.
oh,
I mean,
Iggy, man,
that's when they were at their peak. When it was basically
freak
like,
athlete.
It was like, hey, Steph, don't worry about defense, man. Just go out there and chuck some threes.
So then you got. So as long as you have
I'm just always partial to the do-it-all guys.
the all-around guys,
Yeah, like guys like LeBron, guys like Luka.
Steph Curry with a Pat Bev,
Now, if you're giving Steph
too small.
If you're building, if I get to build the team around him, you could make an argument. Steph's number 1 because of the gravity he brings and stuff like that. Like
He frees up everybody else so
if
much.
I'm getting to pick like, even if it's not superstars, but I'm getting to pick like 4 league average guys to put around it, so I can put the guys I want with Steph. Then we're talking.
So I agree with your list for the most part, but I would honestly, I'm taking Wiggins over Jalen. Only because I just love the length, and I think Wiggins hasn't got enough credit because he played for such a shitty team for so long. I was high on Wiggins, and I feel it's like so bad the way he got treated in LA.
Well, this was a couple years ago.
He's a,
Draymond would have been on the list. Clay would have been on the list.
I think Wiggins is still as capable of that. He's growing into that role. Just like in 2 years, Poole's going to be on that list.
The interesting thing is they have some people like they have Kuminga and
Looney?
James Wiseman.
Wiseman's going to be bad. He's out. Yeah, he tore some, didn't he?
Moody. I mean, they have guys who just don't get to play right now.
It is
there's
crazy how
not
well
enough
they've
minutes
drafted.
left.
I don't know who.
There's not enough minutes left for some of these guys, and it's unfortunate.
Wiseman's going to be a badass. He's going to be awesome. I got faith in that. It's almost going to like they're going to force Steph out because the rest of the team's going to be too good and you can't hold them and pay super maxes.
No, you keep Steph forever. You get rid of Clay before you get rid of Steph.
Oh yeah, Clay's going to be gone. But I think
The thing about Steph is threes last so long.
yeah,
He's not going to get bad at shooting.
Right.
And he's just always going to be able to play for a long time.
his first step will be garbage, but he does also have fantastic handles.
Worst comes to worst, he doesn't be a ball. He plays off ball when he gets older.
If he'll just gain some weight and he'll try to play Luka ball, who's back down a little bit,
or even just run around screens, catch and shoot.
He'll
Do what Ray Allen did.
turn
his
into
last
Ray
3 or
Allen.
4
Yeah,
years. I mean, because people forget Ray Allen was a stud for a little bit.
and I'm swapping
Back in the Supersonic days.
Who's for?
Ray Allen could play.
Who's your 4? I'm swapping Tatum and
Tatum was 4.
3.
Jimmy.
I don't feel comfortable getting rid of Jimmy there, so yeah. And then I'm swapping Luka and Steph.
Like I said, that's fair. It all depends on what the rules of the kind of experience are.
Yeah, who you're building and who your actual top 5 is versus starting 5.
Am I getting a randomizer, picking 4 other players? Then I just give me Luka because I can mold. He could play 3 different positions, which makes it really nice. If you get like a randomizer, move people up and down as you need to.
Depending on who you're playing, he can play 4 positions. He's already a point forward, but
Like, what if you
he can't really guard at one.
Like, what if you took
grade.
Steph off the Warriors and traded him with Donovan Mitchell? Like, wouldn't that be kind of ugly? Conley, Steph, Rudy Gobert. Like, it's just
his usage percentage. It
I
would be
guess Gobert actually
it'd be the
perfect person to protect the rim.
It'd be the
when
Rockets.
When they get right past Steph, it's probably the perfect person to have back there.
They would almost be the Rockets back in the Tracy McGrady, Yao Ming days. The usage rates are going to be absurd for 2 players, and it's just going to be garbage time.
I guess that actually would be that was a bad example because Rudy Gobert is like the person that you want back there. All right, put him on the trade him with De'Aaron Fox and put him on the Kings. Like, that's a nightmare. With
Nobody can win in the Kings.
I'm saying Sabonis playing at center, like a bad defensive, good offensive center, that's not going to work very well.
Yeah.
Like, Steph needs a rim protector because teams try to switch on him all the time. Because even when they had David Lee, they also had Andrew Bogut. If you remember him.
Oh yeah,
That dude was getting like 7 blocks a game in the playoffs because people were burning Steph, and he was just like, no.
Oh yeah, I got to watch Andrew Bogut play for the Bucks for years.
Yep, and he came and played mop-up duty, but Steph couldn't keep his guy in front of him. But offensively, Steph's net rating is absurd. Like, dude is unbelievably good offensively.
He's just not great. I get that, but you'll never will be if you're a 6'2".
No, you're limited. With size, you're limited. The funny thing is, they talk about how small he is, and I think he's 6'3". Like,
okay, 6'2". That's what I said. I said 6'2".
No,
but he looks 5'10" on a court when you got someone like Luka at 6'10" bringing up the
these
ball.
people are monsters. The NBA players are like alien freaks. Like, I sit there and talk about. I'm just saying it's funny because like Steph's 2 inches taller than me, and I sit there and talk about how small he is. Like, if he played me, he'd bully me in the post. And there's nothing I could do about it.
15 years ago, he's in the average size point guard.
Yep.
Growing up, like at 6'2" is that point guard spot, 6'6" shooting guard, 6'9" small forward, power forward, body size, 7 foot tall center. That's it. Like,
Yeah,
that's your limit.
Now there's like no one that very many people play that are 7 foot anymore. For all the talk about how tall people are, like most people are a shade under. Like Anthony Davis and Kevin Durant are almost 7 foot.
Almost. Kevin Durant, his length just went to his arms instead of his head.
But what good players are 7 foot? Joel Embiid, I'm assuming is 7 foot.
I think he's like 7'2". He's big.
And then Jokic, I would assume is 7 foot.
Monster. But he's got eyes in the back of his head. He's a different breed.
There's not. Like, that's it. Is Cat 7 foot? Like, the funny thing too is some of these people, you say that and then you look it up and you're like, NBA is weird.
I think Cat's 6'11".
You'll have people like Cat who's like actually shorter than like Durant. Like, stuff like that will happen and it makes no sense. Oh, I just got sent a counter offer from Rockman here.
6'11". Nailed
Clyde
it.
Edwards-Helaire for Marquise Brown.
What? Really? That was the trade offer?
Yeah, that's what he offered me. Just gonna decline that and tell him to have a good day.
CEH isn't worth a third rounder.
No, but like, I'd give him a third.
That's all I offered him.
Didn't he want like 2 firsts or something wild?
Oh, no. I traded him and got good money for him from Adam.
No, but I'm saying didn't that guy want like 2 firsts or something from you?
Yes.
For Hilaire. Yeah, it makes no sense. Like,
I got him at a great price. I sold him at a great price.
I declined that so quickly. There's no chance. Like, Marquise Brown. No, just makes no sense. Makes no sense what he thought was happening there.
Whoa, what else here? Oh, fantasy football talk. We have our draft coming up. I was a bottom 6 team. Or bottom 6 and then 7 through 12, right? Who made the playoffs? 7 through 12, right?
Top 6 made the playoffs, and then the top 6 teams that made the playoffs get picked 7 through 12 randomly. I did that to prevent tanking. So it was randomized. The 6 teams that don't make the playoffs get the top 6 picks in a random order. The 6 teams that do make the playoffs get the bottom 6 in a random order. So it doesn't really. If you're a borderline playoff team, you'd rather make the playoffs and hope you get hot because you could easily you're just as likely to get the 7th pick.
Right.
You know, that you are the 6th pick, technically. So
How long has Dynasty fantasy football been around, truly? Mainstream, it feels like the last 2 years.
yeah, and the way that you can actually play it, not very well. Like ESPN, you can't play Dynasty unless you do it all manually, which would be exhausting.
So Sleeper is going to take over the world.
Sleeper's fantastic.
It's really getting strong. And
They
then
let you do whatever you want on it.
and now you have apps like Keep Trade Cut that values and puts a true value on picks years in advance. It's crazy. So I would love to know. Don't you just wish you could tell the future?
Yeah.
That's what I would waste half of my future knowledge on. Is like, oh yeah, I'm gonna win this fantasy football league.
I wouldn't even know if I'd play fantasy football if I knew the future. Just go sports books and DraftKings and just take down the millie and.
So, people who are in fantasy football, let me tell you now. If you agree in principle on a trade, and then that trade gets offered, and then someone tries to switch out on you, you should be mad. This guy's brother-in-law.
Not yet.
Say what you want.
My sister has time to back out.
He's someone that will it just trade, constant. There's no loyalty whatsoever. So like every single day, he's looking and trying to do trades. So we had a trade and agreed on principle involving, I was trading y'all Travis Kelce, Nick Chubb, and originally it was Michael Gallup, which he did manage to work its way up. It's Robert Woods and Brandon Ayuk. I was very high on Ayuk, but it's hard to be super high when you don't know who the fucking quarterback is going to be for this team. I realize Trey Lance will get first dibs at starting. I have not heard a positive report from training camp yet, whether it was last year, OTAs that started, and all the film that they talked about from last season to video of the first couple snaps he was taking before. Nothing looks like he can throw the ball in the NFL. A quarterback can't get you the ball. A wide receiver is not very worthwhile. Robert Woods is going on 30. Bad ACL. So he's also now going to be sharing his receptions with Allen Robinson. And Robinson is probably going to be a better player than Robert Woods was. And Cooper Kupp's going to get his share. Cam Akers is going to be back and healthy from the start of the season. I think they still got Lance Stevenson from the Patriots before, right? So there's just the ball's not enough. It's hard to have enough time for every player to get the amount of touches they want. So that was my justification for getting rid of those. I wanted picks. I have great running backs, but my wide receiving core is very middling. Well, a middling wide receiver core is the worst kind of core to have. You either want really shitty, so you don't feel bad about getting rid of anything, and then you can focus on drafting at that position. Mooney was, I think, 34. Ayuk, 36. Woods would have been good, but he missed a ton of time. I got Kadarius Toney. He's all potential. Mm-hmm. So when you're trying to trade, you have to make a drastic swing in some way, shape, or form. And I feel like DJ Moore, it was offered in that trade. Although the same age as Nick Chubb, age is better at the position than Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb entering the final year of his deal.
And Nick Chubb doesn't catch passes, which in full PPR, those type of running backs.
That matters. I
Unless
also
you're gonna
have
be-
Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, unless you're going to be a guy like Derrick Henry and you're literally going to get 35 carries a game.
So I have a great rationale for my trades because I already have the third pick in the draft. This would have got me 10 and 11 and 210. Did you just make a trade and get my picks?
Mm-mm. No one wants to trade with you, man.
I did. I have been talking with his brother-in-law for the last day and a half, legit 36, 40 hours to try to get this trade worked out. And it was all worked out. There have been 50 plus trade offers and counter offers, 50 at least. It got agreed upon. He sent me one, but I was at a patient's house. He sent me 3 trades in a row, like he does. Mm-hmm. So I declined it. I declined all of them. And I finished with the patient. And I went to look at those trades. I'm like, oh, you know what? I can work with that trade. So I offered him that trade back. Then he added Joe Mixon, the number 4 overall wide receiver. And then he added Terry McLaurin, the number 14 running back. If you're a fantasy football player, do not be that guy. You offer the trade. Erroneously, I should have accepted at the time. I realize that.
And it would have been different if, 2 days had passed and news had broke that something changed.
That was 15 minutes.
Right, no, I know. But I'm saying that the only way I would think that'd be okay behavior would be like, oh, I was going to trade for so-and-so. The trade wasn't on the table, and someone got hurt.
So this trade, DJ Moore, Rondale Moore, who everyone's down on, I'm high on, Dawson Knox, 10th and 11th pick, and 3rd pick of the second round for Robert Woods, Travis Kelce, Nick Chubb, Brandon Ayuk, a 2023 third, and a 2024 first, which is his first to begin with. I don't know what Keep Trade Cut even values this trade. But it was agreed upon. And now he's a fucking dick. And so I even sent that same trade back twice. And I said I was done. So it's still on there. I was like, I hate him. So I know what he's doing right now is just sending umpteen trades back and forth to someone else to see if there's one he likes better for that trade.
He hasn't been talking to me, so. The wild thing is, like, you went all back and forth with him for a long time about CeeDee Lamb, and then he ended up
Trading
him for, honestly, like, what is considered fair value, but a lot less than what he's asking for you.
I think I gave him a better trade for CD than what he got.
Probably.
And I think that's why he texted me and said he regretted it. What did he do? So if you're that guy who loves to trade constantly, I get it. But you're going to have to live with that decision. So
The thing is, he gets so, like, hell-bent on the fact that he's going to make a trade that he doesn't worry. After a while, it's like he, like, goes through withdrawals to where he's like,
people
to trade something.
are high on CeeDee Lamb right now as a top 5 wide receiver, which people were saying. I realize there's a lot are. He traded CeeDee Lamb and a 3rd-round pick for Terry McLaurin and a 1st-round pick. That is wow. They traded essentially equal value wide receivers, and he gave up a 1st for a 3rd. Don't be that guy. A lot of regret there. And now he's not replying, which is unlike him. So I know he's fucking.
Price working.
He's working. He has a job
Yeah.
for as much as he sends trades. I was
He works
thinking.
evenings, so that's why a lot of times he is in my A at nighttime.
I do have to give you credit for your draft plan.
I don't know what that is.
24 hours to make your pick.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't like my idea. I didn't, like, set it up.
Yeah, but it was randomized. You get the credit for it, Kamish.
Yeah.
Each pick 24 hours.
That way I don't have to sit there and try to work out with all these different people who live all across the country and do different things. I don't have to, like, sit there. Because I wouldn't have liked to do... wouldn't have wanted to do that for our startup draft. 'Cause that's too much. But for... Like, there's only 36 picks to be made. And this way, too, the cool thing about it, since draft picks are just a thing, it gives you time to try to trade out of your pick if you want. Or trade into a pick. If somebody that you thought, like, is... I don't know, let's say you take...
Say Breece Hall's not drafted first.
Well,
Kenneth Walker, actually.
You know how I like Traylon Burks.
Yep.
Let's say Breece Hall goes 1. Let's say Kenneth Walker goes 2, and I take Drake London. After waffling about it. 4, Jameson Williams goes. Chris Olave goes. 6, some other Sky Moore goes or something. And I'm sitting there going, oh my gosh, no one's taken... Or 7, Garrett Wilson goes. And I'm thinking, Traylon Burks is still left. I need to get into this 8th pick. I need to get Traylon Burks. That's value. Like, and I just got to hope that whoever has 8 doesn't see it the same way.
What are you? Pick 10 or 9?
I don't have any picks.
You don't have any picks?
Unless I end up making a trade with Adam, I don't have any picks. Or someone else, I guess. But most likely it'd be Adam or no one.
Well, if I end up with, if I can get that trade worked out, where it'll be, I have the 3rd pick, then I would have 10th, 11th, and the 3rd of the 2nd.
And 15th, basically.
What?
And 15th, basically, because there's 12 teams.
Yeah. That's you can really change your team a lot in no time flat. Turn your weakness into a strength.
This game is in danger of becoming over very quickly now. As it's now 17.
17 points.
And Steph's firing 3. Nope, he's just throwing the ball to no one.
Yep, threw it right in the corner. Nice layup by Luka. He had a high school dunk.
Yeah. I love it. I love the way Luka plays. He plays old white man YMCA basketball.
He looks like
I mean, he really does. Like, how fun would a Luka Jokic pairing be? Just two guys just lumbering around the court together.
You know, if you run the all whites team, put Larry Bird and Dirk
I
on
wasn't
that.
even saying white, just unathletic. Just two like guys.
So
who
the
aren't
all white
athletic.
team.
What? Yeah, basically. But still, like just watching those two guys lumber around. You can put Kyle Anderson on that roster.
You know, put Brian Scalabrine, White Mamba on
Kyle
there.
Anderson's black, but Kyle Anderson on that roster is so slow. Just like a team of slow, methodical guys. Just here's a question though. Like, I think Joel Embiid leaves Philly when his contract's up.
When is that?
He only
Many
has
years?
He only has 1 year left.
Oh.
Next year's the last year because I think that he's just kind of fed up. Like, especially if they say, let's say they pay Harden, I think he's just gonna be like, don't really want to be around.
If
for
they
this.
pay Harden, they should.
Yeah,
Because that's a dude that looks like a shell.
no, they're going to pay Harden because they're going to feel locked into it. So then,
Because they traded everything for him.
and like Harden's still good, but he's just not going to be worth what he gets paid.
Is his contract up end of this season? Or he's got a team option?
I think, yeah, and he's opting out. It's a player option. He's opting out. And
He's
they'll
not
have
going to
a-
get what he thinks he's worth either.
He's going to get whatever he wants from someone.
Even
Right or
Embiid,
wrong.
even Embiid called him out after that game.
No, but right or wrong, he's getting paid. And I think Philly pays him. And that's the issue. It's like, then I think Embiid walks, and like, the Mavs would be kind of cool. Tell me a Luka Embiid pairing wouldn't be fun for a multitude of reasons. Like personalities, too.
They are both fun.
Luka and Embiid together, personality. And they would be a nightmare. An absolute nightmare for opposing teams.
7-footers who can do turnaround Jays.
Luka's not the best defender, and Embiid's a great defender, and
Embiid has MVP potential. Like, he's that guy.
yeah, he was runner up this year.
All right, you want to lose this in Madden, I assume?
Yeah, unfortunately, I do.
Can be a better sport this time?
Maybe. No promises.
No promises. All right. We'll head out of here. You guys have a good night. This has been MBZ Podcast, and I get everything worked out. I'm fucking sick of this shit not working.
Is your brain ready for the rock? Thanks for listening to the On Call Podcast. Check us out on Twitter @OnCallPod. Interested in being a sponsor or want to be on the show? Drop us an email at oncallpod@gmail.com. For more info, go to oncallpod.com.